How we doing today, folks? So, there's a thing happening. Most of us kind of heard of it, but I've been learning about it for years. About the whole ID thing. You're going to need a certain ID so that way you can get on airplanes and be allowed to go in federal government buildings. That is a real thing. To be on the land and to go into buildings. So it's actually kind of important, unless you ain't never been before. I like to go to federal parks. I don't mind going to the federal buildings to actually pay when I gotta pay them folks. So, here, let's take a look-see.
Secretary Kristi Noem announced her department in May would be enforcing the Real ID law. Watch.
Hi, I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. If you plan on traveling, we need your help to prevent delays and to prove your identity. Get a Real ID. Starting May 7th, you will need a Real ID to travel by air or to visit federal buildings in the United States. These IDs keep our country safe because they help prevent fraud and they enhance security. Please do your part to protect our country. Go today and don't delay. To learn more, go to dhs.gov/real-id. Thank you.
Watch this fridge test.
She thought that was pretty rhymey and cool of her. I could see the little grin.
Test for fake olive oil.
I left these bottles of
Sorry
olive
for
oil
the
in the fridge
commercial,
overnight.
folks, but
Supposedly, if your olive
it
oil is
happens.
100.
She knows how to rhyme. But somebody
Well,
wrote that.
Dr. Ron Paul just published a new piece warning all of us about Real ID. Here it is. It's called Real ID, Phony Security, Real Authoritarianism. And of course, Dr. Paul, you can watch the videos right after 9/11 on the floor of Congress saying, don't fall for this, that this would take away our privacy. That was then. This is now. It's taken all of these years to finally put this into place. And Dr. Ron Paul joins us now. Doctor, good to see you as always. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be with you again.
So, real authoritarianism. Why are, Republicans are running the show. They control everything. They control the White House. They control Congress. How are they allowing this to move forward? I thought Republicans were supposed to be against this.
See, I don't know whether allowing is the right term. They're participating. It looks like they're doing it. But it is true, some minority group that has the handle on this and the authority to do it, they allow it to happen, and others haven't said too much, and it's just a shame. I guess the thing that annoys me most about this is for our own security. This is going to kiss the criminals. Everything government does always has a positive. We're going to make you rich and safe, and peace is going to break out throughout the world, and everybody's going to benefit. It's not going to cost us anything. We'll just print the money, and you won't even know what's going to happen. Deficits don't matter. They lie through their teeth, and that is what is so aggravating. So now we have this coming up. They're doing this for our sake, which is another lie. And I don't know why they do it, because a lot of good people get involved in this, and they can't really believe that. And yet somebody has to, whoever's pulling the final strings to let this go, must have a trick up their sleeve, because it's hard for me to believe that this is going to help you and me to be safer. Because what we see is the government's intrusion, that they're going to have more regulations. You're going to have real IDs, like you might not even be able to get on an airplane in the United States without the Real ID. What do you have, another week or two to get the Real ID? So it is astounding that it happens. It's astounding that Congress does it. It's astounding that people go along with it. And they went along with, COVID, for a couple years, and finally they woke up and did something about it, and the people said enough is enough. But I think right now this thing is marching on because we've been persuaded that a new administration wouldn't like something like that. How many of us would have predicted before the campaign Trump will be on our side on the real ID? But look at where we are today.
When you say it's real authoritarianism, for our audience, we've been trying to educate our audience on the real ID for a while now. And I don't know that we're doing a good job of it. I hope we are, but maybe our audience is aware of this. But if anyone watching right now doesn't understand what this thing is, can you explain why this is phony security and real authoritarianism? It's just an ID, Dr. Paul. It's just, just go along with it. It's just an ID.
Yeah, but all they want is the control and power over the people. So they're working for an opposite type of government than most of us. And I think the majority of Americans would, if you just put them up on the issues and not isolate it and have it, shoved down their throats, most of them would just say, no, I don't like the government to do this. But they either feel helpless or they don't understand it, and they get by and it gets bigger. But very often they fall into that.
It means we're ignorant
maybe it
and
does
lazy.
make sense. Maybe if we have this, and they're taking taking advantage of the opportunity of a lot of bad people that came into our country. They came in. I thought it was so bad. I thought it was an invasion and not a benefit. But it wasn't an excuse to ignore the safety. They say, well, this will help make us safe from those bad people who are coming in here. And if they don't have the real ID, but they don't remember that 9/11. They didn't have a real ID. They got on the airplane and they used their own passports. So this more government. Government wants all this stuff just for control. They want to control the people. They don't want any opposition. And I think that I first became aware of this in the 1970s. There was the Bank Secrecy Act. Of course. Don't you want your accounts to be secret? Well, okay, reveal everything to the government and they'll take care of it. But the Bank Secrecy Act had nothing to do with secrecy. It was the bank taking over and fulfilling out more and more forms. And then we ended up with FinCEN, which has tremendous power and control. And they've made an effort recently to expand, just like they're expanding the Real ID. But they have too much information. They don't understand, and they don't trust people to take care of themselves. And they always play on it. What do you mean? If you didn't have food stamps and free medicine, would all people die? Yeah, then the government takes over and they say, well, they're really good doctors. Just look how much good they did with COVID. They always knew how many people should. We'll take them to the nursing.
All right, folks. So that was Rand Paul, former congressman from Texas. He ran as a libertarian, but then when he ran for president, he ran as an independent. And he lost. Because most of us didn't do our due diligence. To give this man a chance. To research him. Hear about what he talks about. Instead, we choose to just hear shit or shitty or lie to us. That's how I see it. Hey, whatever. Good luck to anybody that thinks Elon Musk and Donald Trump are superheroes. They're just two people, and they're two of the richest people on the planet. There's a reason why they're the richest people on the planet, and you better bet your fucking ass they're not going to do anything to ruin that. So, I went ahead, because they're not showing you what this thing means. I'm from Ohio. So, right here, that's a real ID. That'll get you on federal government land, the star. And then you'll see right here, not for federal ID. So I ran out, got this one, then I ran out and got this one, then I ran out and got this one, and now I have a fucking another one. I move a lot, which I'm okay with. I would love to spend the rest of my life being a vagabond. Except I'll be on my horse. I'm not going to walk. And hopefully with your help, and you like seeing what I can bring to you, which is us. Real conversations about with real people about real things and how they feel about it. Hopefully, I like to come up with some solutions to some of our issues that we come up with. And then I'll scratch my head and be like, I don't understand why they won't. If we come up with it, why won't they? How? They're the smartest people. That's why they're in office, right? They think about our problems every day. Don't they? Isn't that what the politicians do? I don't give a shit if it's your local, your state, hell, your county, then your state, to the federal fucking government. If they're Democrats or Republicans, they're shit. I don't care if it's a little shit or a bunch of shit. It's still shit, and I'm tired of smelling it. But I'm willing. I do believe that if people are confronted when they do bad things, if somebody confronts them about it, they can change. You don't have to continuously do bad things unless you be some baby rape or sex offender shit like all those people that Jeffrey Epstein got video on and Diddy got video on, right? Those people, like if you did that, actually, I say the best thing for you is to just come clean so that way you can get some forgiveness. Because we're not bad people. Like, we might just put you in jail forever, but we're not going to fucking kill you. Yeah? Will you have to fucking do some work in prison? Sure. But most of us are compassionate. So just give yourself up. Give it up. If you're a fucking crook, get out of the fucking business. Just get out. Resign. I quit. And then take your money, hide in a hole, and hope nobody comes and gets you. So, this is what you're looking for. This is not what you're looking for unless you're not going to fly and you don't think you're going to potentially need to go into any federal government building, which there's a lot of them. For a lot of different, for example, if your company lays you off and you can't do the shit on the computer, what are your choices? You have none. All right, good luck to all, to each their own. Hope you got something from this.